Ever heard a sound so terrifying it could make a soldier's blood run cold? During World War II, there was one weapon whose sound alone became a symbol of fear on the battlefield. It wasn't the roar of a tank or the whistle of a bomb, but the high-pitched, tearing sound of a machine gun firing at an incredible rate. They called it Hitler's Buzzsaw. This is the story of the MG42. Picture this. It's the middle of the war, and Germany needs a new machine gun. Their existing models, like the MG34, are effective but also complex and expensive to make. They need something that can be mass-produced quickly and cheaply without sacrificing firepower. The solution was a masterpiece of wartime engineering, the Maschinengewehr 42, or MG for 2. Instead of using finely milled components, its designers turned to stamped and pressed metal parts. Simple change was revolutionary. It slashed production time and costs, allowing Germany to churn out over 423,000 units in just 3 years. But what truly set the MG42 apart was its insane rate of fire. We're talking about 1,200 to 1,500 rounds per minute. That's 20 to 25 bullets flying downrange every single second. This blistering speed created a unique, continuous buzzing or ripping sound, unlike any other weapon on the battlefield. For Allied soldiers, hearing that sound meant one thing: an MG42 was nearby, and you needed to find cover fast. The psychological impact was immense. The sound itself became a weapon, demoralizing troops before they even saw the enemy. The German military didn't just adopt the MG42, they rebuilt their entire infantry doctrine around it. The standard German squad, the Gruppe, was essentially a mobile MG42 team. You had the gunner, the Schütze, who carried and fired the weapon. Then you had the assistant gunner, who carried the tripod, spare barrels, and ammunition. Following them were more ammunition carriers and riflemen whose primary job was to protect the machine gun team. The MG42 was the star of the show. Everyone else was its supporting cast. This structure made German defensive positions incredibly formidable. A single, well-placed MG42 could pin down and decimate an entire platoon of advancing soldiers. One of the keys to the MG42's effectiveness was its versatility. With a simple bipod, it was a light machine gun, mobile enough to advance with the infantry. Mount it on a heavy Lafette 42 tripod, and it became a sustained-fire heavy machine gun, capable of laying down accurate, long-range fire. It could even be fitted with anti-aircraft sights or mounted on tanks and other vehicles. Fitz's Saul approach simplified logistics and training, making it a true general-purpose machine gun. However, operating the MG42 was no easy task. The immense recoil required a strong and well-trained gunner to control. Firing in long, uncontrolled bursts was a rookie mistake. It would waste ammunition and, more importantly, cause the barrel to overheat rapidly. The solution was a brilliant quick-change barrel system. A skilled crew could swap out a glowing hot barrel for a cool one in a matter of seconds, allowing them to maintain a high rate of fire without melting the gun. Trigger discipline was paramount. Gunners were trained to fire in short, controlled bursts of 5 to 7 rounds to conserve ammo and maintain accuracy. Being an MG42 gunner was one of the most dangerous jobs in the German army. Because the weapon was so devastating, Allied forces prioritized taking out machine gun nests. The distinctive buzzsaw sound that struck fear into the hearts of so many also acted as a beacon, drawing a hail of enemy fire from rifles, mortar, and artillery. The life expectancy of an MG42 gunner on the front lines was tragically short. They were both the hunter and the hunted, dealing out death while being prime targets themselves. The impact of the MG42 was felt on every front. On D-Day, at Omaha Beach, German defenders armed with MG-42s inflicted horrific casualties on the landing American troops. One German soldier, Heinrich Severloh, famously manned an MG-42 at his position, Widerstandsnist 62, and fired thousands of rounds, becoming known as the Beast of Omaha. On the vast Eastern Front, the MG-42 was crucial in countless defensive battles against massive Soviet infantry assaults, its sheer volume of fire proving indispensable in holding the line. But its use wasn't limited to combat. The weapon was also a tool of occupation and reprisal, used to control civilian populations and carry out brutal acts in occupied territories, cementing its dark legacy. So, what happened to the MG-42 after the war? Well, its story didn't end in 1945. The design was so effective, so revolutionary, that it directly inspired a new generation of machine guns around the world. The American M60, famously used in Vietnam, borrowed heavily from the MG-42's feed mechanism. The Belgian FN Mag, one of the most successful and widely used machine guns in the West, also shows its influence. TThe, but the most direct descendant is still in service today. After the war, West Germany needed to rearm its new army, the Bundeswehr. They looked back at the MG-42 and decided, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They took the basic design, rechambered it for the standard NATO 7.62mm cartridge, made a few minor tweaks to slow the rate of fire slightly. From its stamped metal origins to its terrifying battlefield reputation and its lasting influence on modern firearms, the MG-42 is more than just a historical artifact. It's a case study in brilliant, if ruthless, engineering. It changed the sound of the battlefield, rewrote infantry tactics, and left a legacy that continues to echo in the design of weapons used today. A truly fearsome machine born from a time of total war. Thanks for watching. If you found this look into military history interesting, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the weapons and stories that shaped our world. See you next time.